So hey guys, today once again आज मेरी लाइफ का एक बहुत स्पेशल डे है because exactly 1 year ago, no, exactly like 1 year, 1.5 year, exactly 1 year and 11 months ago, I had bought this MacBook Pro 15-inch on installments because I was a student back then और मेरी my monthly income used to be around 725, 750, around that, somewhere around that, and I used to pay $400 for rent and 150 for food, travel, etc. और बाकी जो बचता था, so remaining I used to pay per month for installments of this MacBook Pro because मैं afford तो कर नहीं सकता था तब. But now today is a big day because now I'm finally able to upgrade to the MacBook Air. I will tell later कि कौन सी ली, कैसे ली, but now let's go and buy it. So it's currently 5:45 PM. इतनी जल्दी अंधेरा हो जाता है and I'm currently using my Pixel 5 for vlogging and Apple Maps with the Apple Watch for navigation because Apple Watch vibrates whenever I have to take a turn. So finally reached Cumberland Mall and I need to look for Apple Store here. पता नहीं कहाँ पे है.
Someone told me you get there's this thing called snowboarders use called like cat trap. A lot of outdoor shops will sell it. Yeah. And no, it comes in like this little.
The surfboard wax is called like sex wax.
Yeah. That same.
They just come with like weird names for things.
It's called cat trap. Yeah.
I was checking if I can reach the corners with it. I can actually, yeah.
Oh, dang! I feel like I have tiny hands. So even with the 11, I'm like, I can't. Anti-fog feet.
Finally made it. Now I'm a bit nervous to drive at night alone, but I hope everything goes well. Now before unboxing this M1 MacBook, not Pro, actually MacBook Air, every student must check out algoexpert.io where you can find 100 plus quality questions on data structures as well as algorithms, and these 100 questions will give you enough training to become a successful software engineer at Google, Facebook and these fan companies. And if you're not able to solve the problem, then you have the hint and video explanation of each and every program along with the concepts for data structures, algorithms, plus behavioral interview rounds as well. So definitely check it out, and if you will use the link in the description below, you will get 10% off discount. So first of all, I'm really happy with the 16-inch MacBook Pro, but the problem is with the 15-inch MacBook Pro, that's the only working laptop I currently own. So like for example, as you already saw, when I'm trying to multitask, when the fan speed is pretty high or when I'm video editing, it kind of lags. So that's why when I got to know about M1, I'm trying to sell this off. So currently this has trade-in value of around $1,100 at Apple Store. But if I try to sell it off on Facebook Marketplace, I can easily get $1,200 to $1,300. So that's the goal. And now let's check if this M1 MacBook Air is better than 16-inch or the 15-inch MacBook. So it's mostly paper because Apple cares a lot about the environment. Wow, it's super light as compared to my 15-inch MacBook Pro. Like zameen asman ka fark hai. It's incredible. So this is the big fan of 15-inch MacBook Pro, but MacBook Air has no fan at all. So this is 30 watt power adapter. The 16-inch MacBook Pro came with 96 watt power adapter. On the other hand, the 13-inch MacBook Pro will come with 61 watt power adapter. Space Gray stickers. Up till the biggest issue I've found is the storage. So the cheapest MacBook will come with 256 GB SSD and 8 GB RAM. But the problem is if you want maybe 512 GB storage or boost in graphics, then you'll have to pay around $250 more. And that price is very close to MacBook Pro 13-inch. So it is very confusing, but they did it intentionally so that you guys get the most expensive MacBook. But I personally got the cheapest possible one. So finally, first of all, let's test out how long does it take to turn on. So, okay, it's like half a second. Yeah, it's pretty quick. Now comparing it with MacBook Pro 15-inch, it has Big Sur as well. So it takes around 1, 2, 3, 4, around 4.5 seconds. So that's actually a legitimate claim, and it's super fast to turn on. Now I personally bought it on a student discount for around $900 and I have bought it on EMI just like always on $75 per month. So if it can replace my MacBook Pro 15-inch or 16-inch for programming or software engineering and video editing, I will definitely be keeping it and selling it off. Now talking about the other claims they had is, now if you open App Store, now you will see two options. So let's say if I search for PUBG Mobile, that's one of the most popular game. Now it is not banned in US for sure, so I can show you. So it is available on my iPhone and iPad. Now there are two categories you'll find. Number one, apps only for Mac, so on the left side, and the other side is iPad and iPhone apps. But unfortunately, PUBG Mobile is not available yet on MacBook. Do you know why? Because they have signed out of that contract maybe. But if you look up for other games like Subway Surfers, yep, that's definitely available and you can play it. Let's try it out.
Oh, so you have to use the touch gestures using the touchpad because keyboard doesn't work.
मजा आया.
Honestly, playing iPhone or iPad games on MacBook wasn't that fun because they don't have support for keyboard yet, but I think it'll take time. But not all the apps available on iPhone and iPad are yet available on MacBook. Do you know why? Because they have an option to opt out. For example, Netflix has already opted out. Amazon Prime has opted out because when you buy anything on the App Store with Apple Pay or any kind of payment method, they take 30% cut. So that's why they want to force you to use the browser on the MacBook so that they don't have to pay that cut. Yep, the keyboard is pretty good and it is actually better than the MacBook Pro 15-inch. Yeah, both the keyboards are good, but this is definitely better. This is like the 16-inch keyboard experience. This is like the old mechanism, which I hate. And other than that, the touch bar is absent on this MacBook Air, but I don't mind because as a programmer, I really need to use these function keys pretty quickly. And now I can tap on them without looking at the keyboard. But on the other hand, on a touch bar, I have to look at the keyboard before hitting a function key, because when I'm typing, I don't even look at the keyboard, I just look at the screen. So that will be faster on the MacBook Air. Speaker test. So from the speaker test, I found out both the speakers are excellent, but the difference is in terms of volume, both are pretty close. But the only difference is that in terms of bass, MacBook Pro 15-inch wins, and in terms of surround sound, because it has 4 or 5 speakers, it has only 2. So that's why that wins. But for normal video editing, both have same level of richness and the volume. But anyways, other thing that I found out is that Safari is offering you more smooth experience as compared to Chrome, because Safari is optimized on the M1 MacBook Air, but Chrome is not that optimized. It crashed one time for me. So just take a look at YouTube on Safari versus Chrome. So Safari is definitely much more smooth. So I also have Android Studio as well as Xcode and VS Code, all the apps that I use on the day-to-day basis on this MacBook Air. But the first thing I found out that unfortunately I cannot run the Android app on an emulator on this MacBook Air. Do you know why? Because I really need a physical device to test my apps now, because the error is the CPU does not support VTX. So it's trying to say that the support for the Android emulators is not yet available, even though Android Studio is running on Rosetta, that is like virtualization, so it is not currently working. And the alternative was I had to use a physical device. On the number 2 option was that I have to use the ARM based Android emulator, which is 10 times slow on MacBook Air. So that's why for Android development, it's not ready yet, because a lot of the developers test their apps on 5-inch devices, 10-inch devices, and you don't have all the devices yet. So that's why First of all, 8 GB RAM is not enough for those who want to run emulators. I saw that it was out of RAM. It was never out of GPU or CPU, because CPU was only used up to 30 to 50%, or GPU was used up to 40% when I was trying to edit videos. But the RAM was mostly full when I ran Android Studio and an emulator. So that's why for those who want to do Android development and want to run a lot of emulators, 16 GB RAM is a must. But for video editing, Android development, I think it should be good enough. Anyways, the 16-inch MacBook Pro has already started to bother me because of the fan noise. So I'll talk about the in-depth video editing and programming experience on this MacBook Air in my full review. So in the meantime, follow me on Instagram if you want to know about the issues that I'm facing on this MacBook Air M1 chip instantly. And don't forget to check out Algo Expert to get started with your programming journey as well. So that's it for today. And one thing that so far I haven't faced any heating or fan noise, because there's no fan noise at all. So far no heating issues at all. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.